Most people think the best theme park trip has to be the biggest one, the flashiest one, or the one everybody online is talking about. And honestly, I get that. If a park has a giant new land, a huge coaster, a famous IP, or nonstop hype, it is really easy to get caught up in that. But I think there's another side of this conversation that a lot of people miss, because the parks most people ignore are often the best value. And when I say value, I don't just mean the cheapest ticket. I mean the parks that give you the best overall day for your money, your time, and your comfort. That is really what this video is about. Hey theme park fans, my name's Sebastian and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something I think a lot of people overlook. The parks that do not always get the biggest hype, but they might actually give you your best experience for your money. And I want to be clear right up front. I'm not saying every smaller park is better than every huge park. That is not what I mean. What I mean is that people are often sleeping on parks that are actually doing a lot of things right. Sometimes those aren't the parks that quietly give you a way better day than the big famous places. So when I talk about value, I'm not just talking about the cheapest ticket price. I think a lot of people start there, but I do not think that this is the whole conversation. For me, value is a mix of things. I'm looking at immersion and theming. I'm looking at coaster variety. I'm looking at the crowd size. And I'm also looking at the overall cost. Not only that, but I'm looking at veteran discounts and what those parks offer for those people. I'm looking at food quality and selection. I'm also looking at the merch quality and sizing. And I can't forget about parking. And finally, I also look at whether the rides are big guy friendly and comfortable. But last but not least, I'm looking for an overall accessibility, including ADA access and how a park handles things like service dogs and mobility needs. So yeah, that is a lot, but that is also real life, because when people go to a theme park, they are not just buying a ticket, they are buying an entire day. And if enough of those little details go wrong, the whole day starts to feel less worth it. That is why I think the parks people ignore can end up being the smartest parks to visit. And with that being said, a lot of these parks get overlooked for pretty simple reasons. They might not have the biggest marketing push. They might not be attached to the biggest mainstream brand. They may not be in the most obvious tourist area. And they may not get nearly as much attention from creators or social media as the giant parks do. And that is fine, but I also think that this is why they are interesting. Because if a park is not constantly trying to be the loudest thing in the room, sometimes it gets better at the stuff that actually matters to guests. And it can focus more on the actual experience. It can focus on the details, and in a lot of cases, that is where the real value comes from. But before I get too far into this, if you like theme park content that actually helps you decide whether your money should go, make sure you subscribe. That is really what I want this channel to be. I want to be the guy that people trust when they're deciding what park to visit, what trip is worth it, and where they should spend their hard-earned money. That kind of stuff is the content I want to keep making. So if that sounds useful to you, you're definitely in the right place. Let me start with one of the best examples of what I'm talking about exactly. Holiday World. I think Holiday World is one of the clearest examples of a park that people should pay more attention to, because it does a lot of things right. And I wish that other parks followed their lead. And a lot of those little things add up fast, like free parking, free soft drinks, free sunscreen. Now that does sound simple, but it is a huge deal once you're actually there for a full day. Now, free parking means one less cost before you even walk in. Free drinks means you're not constantly getting hit with extra expenses. And free sunscreen means that the park is actually thinking about the practical side of your visit. That is the kind of stuff that makes a park feel easier and better to enjoy. And for me, that is a big part of what value really is. It's not just about what the ticket costs. It's about how the park treats your whole day. And when you add the ride experiences and the atmosphere, and Holiday World starts making a very strong case right there. It is the park that feels fun, comfortable, and really easy to enjoy. It has enough going on to keep enthusiasts interested, but it still feels approachable for families and casual visitors. That balance does matter. Quite a lot, actually, because a park that feels easy to enjoy is usually a park people want to come back to, like myself. Silver Dollar City is another one of those parks that fits in this conversation really well. Now, I won't call Silver Dollar City a cheap park in the simplest sense, but I would absolutely call it a value park. And that is because value is not always about the lowest price. Sometimes value is about how much quality you get for what you pay. And Silver Dollar City gives you quite a lot, actually. The immersion is strong, the theming is strong, the atmosphere is exceptional. The park feels like a real destination. And that matters to me a lot because immersion is one of my favorite parts of a good park. Now, if I feel like I'm stepping into a place with identity, that immediately raises my experience. And Silver Dollar City absolutely does that. It feels like a park that knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to copy every other park, thankfully. It's also not trying to be trendy as a lot of these parks tend to be. It also has its own personality, which I generally appreciate. And that gives a kind of value that people sometimes underestimate, because when a park gives you a really complete experience, you can feel that. You can feel it in the atmosphere, and you can feel it in the layout as well. You can feel it in the way the whole day comes together. That is why I think Silver Dollar City belongs in this conversation. Kings Island is another really good example of a park that we're talking about here. I have been there and I know what this park can offer. And one thing I do think Kings Island does well is balance. You get a strong coaster lineup. You get a park that feels like a full day experience. You get a place that has enough energy to feel exciting without feeling totally overwhelming. And that's not easy to pull off. A lot of parks could be fun in theory, but not all of them feel like a place you want to keep walking around all day. Kings Island usually does a pretty good job at that, and it feels active, it feels dependable, and it gives you enough to do that the day feels worth it. That matters in a value conversation because a park does not have to be the most extreme park in the world to still be a great use of your time and your money. And sometimes being a really solid park is enough. And honestly, that is kind of underrated because not every great trip has to be a once in a lifetime bucket list adventure. Sometimes you just want to go to a park, have a good day, ride some great coasters, eat some decent food, and leave feeling like it was worth it. Kings Island absolutely can do that for you. Now, I do want to mention the Universal parks here because they are a part of my personal top tier, and they help explain what I mean when I talk about immersion and value. Universal Orlando, Islands of Adventure, and Epic Universe are not ignored parks, not even close. But they are great examples of how powerful theming and immersion can be when it's done at a really high level. Those parks are a reminder that value is not about price. Sometimes value is about the feeling you get when you're inside the park. Sometimes value is about how the park pulls you into its world. And that is the one reason I think some of the most overlooked parks can still compete in this conversation. They might not have the same scale or budget, they might not have the same level of attention, but they can give you an experience that feels meaningful. And that is what people remember. And I do want to mention Knoebels really quick because it's one of those parks that always comes up when people talk about value. I do not know much about it personally yet, and I'm not going to pretend I do, but it is definitely one of those parks people point to when they talk about free admission, free parking, and pay-per-ride flexibility. So even if it is not the top of my personal must-visit list yet, it still fits the bigger idea here. It is another example of a park that people may overlook if they're only chasing hype. Looking at the parks I've actually been to is a part of why I think this way. Right now, my top parks include Universal Orlando, Islands of Adventure, Epic Universe, Holiday World, Kings Island, Universal Orlando, Silver Dollar City, Six Flags Michigan's Adventure, and finally, Six Flags St. Louis. And when I look back at that list, the parks I keep coming back to are not always the ones with the biggest name alone. They are the ones that make the whole day feel worth it though. Holiday World stands out because of the freebies and the overall guest experience. Kings Island stands out because it gives you a really strong mix of rides and atmosphere. And Silver Dollar City stands out because of the immersion and the quality. And finally, Universal parks stand out because they make you feel like you're somewhere special the second you walk in. And that is the thing right there. When a park gets the important stuff right, it stays with you. So here's how I personally rank parks when I'm looking at value. First is immersion and theming. That is the biggest one for me right now. And if a park feels alive and intentional, that instantly improves the whole experience. Second is coaster variety. I want a park to give me enough different experiences to keep the day really moving. I do not want everything to feel like it's all the same. Third is whether the rides are big guy friendly and comfortable. That matters more than people honestly talk about, and it might not apply to everybody, but for somebody like me, it does. A park should feel welcoming to a wide range of guests, no pun intended. Fourth is crowd size. A park with great rides can still feel less valuable if the lines are brutal and the day becomes a grind. Fifth is overall cost. And again, that is just not the ticket price here that we're talking about. That includes parking, food, drinks, and everything else that does add up. Sixth is veteran discounts or anything they do for military families and first responders. That matters to me personally, and I think it says something when a park actually makes an effort here. Seventh is food quality and selection. Food is honestly a part of everyone's day. It's not separate from the experience. Eighth is merch quality and sizing. And I love it when a park gives people stuff they actually want to buy and wear. Ninth is parking. If parking is easy and reasonable, that's a major win. And 10th is overall worth it. This is where everything comes together, quite honestly. Would I go again? Would I recommend it? Would I tell somebody that it's worth the trip? That is the real test right here. And 11th is accessibility. ADA access, service dog friendliness, and whether the park is actually easy to navigate all do matter. A park should just not be fun. It should be usable. It should be welcoming. That is a part of value too. The parks that really stand out to me are the ones that understand what kind of experience they are trying to give you. Holiday World, again, gets that. Kings Island gets that. Silver Dollar City gets that. And a lot of parks people ignore are actually pretty good at that too. They might not always be trying to be the biggest thing in the industry, but they are trying to give you a good day. And that is a difference worth paying attention to, because the best park for one person is not always the most expensive or the most famous one. Sometimes it is the park that respects your time, your money, and your energy the most. That is what I keep coming back to. If somebody asks me which park I think deserves more attention when we start talking about value, I would start with, again, Holiday World. That one is easy for me. It does so many things right. I would also point to Silver Dollar City because it gives you a really strong overall experience and a ton of atmosphere. Kings Island would be another one because it gives you a lot of ride value and a strong full day experience. And I think that parks like that deserve more credit than they usually get. Not because they're hidden forever, not because no one knows about them, but because people often underestimate how good they actually are once you look at the full picture here. There's also a few parks that I really want to visit soon because I think they would fit this whole conversation rather well. Cedar Point is definitely on that list. Worlds of Fun is another one I want to get to. Lost Island theme park is a theme park that I'm really curious about because I think it might surprise some people. King's Dominion is on my radar too, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg is one I really want to experience because I think it has a strong case for immersion and overall value. Hershey Park is another one I want to get to soon because I think it is the kind of park that people have a strong opinion about, but I want to judge that for myself. Those parks matter to this conversation because they are the kind of places where I can keep applying the same value lens. I think this type of video can really help my channel because it's not just random news. It's not just a list. It is a point of view, and it is a way of helping people make better decisions. And that is where I want to build my channel. I want to be the guy people trust. I want to be the person people come to when they're trying to figure out what park is worth the trip, what park is worth the money, and what park is actually going to give them a good day. And I understand that that kind of trust does take some time, but I think this is the kind of video that helps build it. So if you like theme park content that is honest, useful, actually helps you decide where your money should go, make sure you subscribe. That is the kind of content I want to keep on making on this channel. Real opinions, real experiences, and real conversations about parks that people should stop sleeping on. So yeah, the parks most people ignore are often the best value. Not because they are perfect, not because they are always the cheapest, but because they tend to do the important stuff really well. They respect your time, they respect your money, they give you a day that actually feels worth it. And honestly, that is what a good theme park should always do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. My name's Timothy Sebastian, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.